Thanks for joining us in this edition of the program. We are beaming live from Upwe here in Douala, the nation's economic capital. The 2025 different elections are fast approaching, and different political parties and different political actors as well are on with mobilization in different parts of the country. And while the mobilizations are ongoing, one can notice the usual perpetration of hate speech and disinformation by the actors, as has always been the case in the past. And today we are asking the question, why is disinformation or hate speech taking a center stage during elections? Stay with us, we shall be right back.
The suspense at rest. After 2 weeks of uncertainty as to the March ordinary session of Parliament, all is now in black and white. Masenyat Njifenji and Honorable Kavaye Jibril re-elected as President of the Senate and House Speaker of Cameroon's National Assembly, respectively. Both unopposed candidates. Out of 95 votes, Nyat Njifenji got 91 with 4 null. Kavaye Jibril on his part swept 143 out of 156 votes. Their party majority at both the upper and lower house of parliament played to their favor. Despite the scandals and internal squabbles at the National Assembly, 84-year-old Kavaye Jibril enters the 10th legislature as House Speaker for the 32nd time. Nyat Njifenji, at the age of 89, the favorite of senators, holding post since 2013. The 23-man Bureau of the National Assembly would have been void of change but for Honorable Barra Julien replacing Honorable Silikam Isabel, who died last year. The opposition spotted here and there. 1 out of 5 vice presidents, Honorable Abba Alim from the UNDP party. SDF Chia, Honorable Joshua Osi among the 4 questors, while Honorable Cabral Libi of PCRN and Honorable Ndam of CDU among the 12 secretaries. With the new bureau in place, real business of Parliament can now resume, such as the deposit of bills and other issues of national interest and concern. This especially as we are about 2 weeks to the end of the March ordinary session for the 2024 legislative year.
As if to challenge state authority, suspected separatist fighters on Thursday planted a bomb at the city chemist roundabout in the heart of Bamenta's busiest commercial center. This was at the same time the installation ceremony of the new Legion commander of the Gendarmerie was taking place at the command post of the 5th Joint Military Region at Upstation. After the discovery of the explosive, security forces carved out a security perimeter to avoid human casualties as specialists worked out ways to deactivate the device. After several hours, the bomb was shot, leading to a loud explosion that thundered through the town. These are some of the challenges the new Legion commander of the Northwest Gendarmerie will need to deal with, as prescribed by the commander of the 5th Joint Gendarmerie Region.
Knows the population, to knows the habit, and we are not continuing to use guns to bring back peace in this area. We ask him to understand his population.
The new commander is aware of the need for a people-friendly gendarmerie.
We have to see how we can manage with this population. All of us, we are in need of all those things. We are in need. So we have to manage the population so that we can bring back those who are in touch.
After about 4 years in the heart of security crisis, outgoing Colonel Raymond Boum-Bissoué has been promoted to cumulate 2 positions at the Secretariat of State for Defense in Yaoundé.
Using this opportunity, and let me tell it deep in my heart, to thank the head of state, the President of the Republic of Cameroon, for the high confidence has given me again for the new duty.
As if it was planned to be a hot day in Bamenda, barely hours after this installation ceremony, about 8 gunmen on board 2 vehicles staged a hold-up in a microfinance institution in broad daylight at T Junction.
Before now, after now, once now, the commercial they shout, they don't shoot me, they don't shoot me. Before now, by boy, now, and then now, carry now, on now, they can go to now,
Friday morning, the workers were still traumatized after seeing the armed robbers who had already left coming back to open fire on the security guard on duty because he activated the electronic alarm system.
March 22 is World Water Day with theme Water for Peace. In Cameroon's economic hub Douala, it is crystal clear that water is becoming very rare, just like in other towns and villages. Water is a huge problem in this country. We cannot say that having potable water is easy here. Even snake water, sometimes it changes in color. This is Mobile Guinness Ange Raphael Douala, the Varsity neighborhood. Empty piles of jerry cans and other containers are lined up by people from other neighborhoods searching for water. The population depends on this corporate source from the brewery factory. There are times water is colorless and there are times it is yellow. The color of water here varies. I drink mineral water. The running tap water is to bathe with. Douala city dwellers are seeking for solutions. This is the reason for this meeting organized by the Consumer Coalition. Prince Vondo is the president of this association.
You know that the contest is not easy now. The price of goods is very high in the market and so on. You see transport fee is very high, pay of transport fee very high. Now it's not easy for the consumer. The access of water, potable water is not easy. Many consumer spend many days without water. When you don't have water, you are exposed to many diseases.
I propose the government should take necessary measures so that the population can have potable water. It is the government's role to do so. Experts say by implementing practical strategies that promote conservation, enhance accessibility, and safeguard water resources can work towards a future where everyone can access safe drinking water.
Those were some of the news making events of the week. If you are just joining us, the program is 360 degrees and we are beaming live from Douala. I have 2 gentlemen and a lady in the studio today. I'll go straight to welcome them, beginning from my right. I have Jerome, who is of the civil society. This should be your second time on 360 degrees.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you very much, Mr. Chia, and to my co-panelists. It's always a pleasure to be available on your program and maybe share viewpoints on pertinent issues that are maybe affecting our country and ourselves.
You just watch some of those news-making events. What caught your attention?
A lot of things caught my attention. We often say water is life, but I can see that in Cameroon is a serious problem, and we're talking about elections, and you see what they're showing over in Bamenda. Insecurity is still at the peak, and we should instead be looking at solutions to, like, bringing peace, unity before talking of maybe elections or campaigns and so on, because very soon you will see them trying to say 1 or 2 things in order to call the attention of the people and continue following them.
Thank you. I move over to Regina ETAKA ESONG. She's a journalist. She is a fellow of the African Fact-Checking Cohort 5. I think, yeah, Cameroon. She's here today with us. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, Hyncenth. Thank you, my co-panelists. I'm happy to be here, and I'm glad to be amongst those that will continue to sensitize our public out there on pertinent issues.
Issues like hate speech.
Issues like
Which
hate
are very
speech.
Thank you so much. And next to Regina is Barrister TAMFU Richard. You all know him. He's a member of the Cameroon Bar Association. That is, he's a lawyer and a politician. Barrister, you're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chia. Greetings to all Cameroonians who are watching, and also to my co-panelists. It's always a pleasure to be on your platform, and I think that the topic that you've decided for us to debate on is very pertinent. You know, we are at a crossover phase in Cameroon where we are trying to look forward for a possible transition, even though we have the impression that we the youths, we are bound to not see the end of the tunnel, because the forefathers who are there, it appears they want to take Cameroon to their graves before we could have any hope. So I'm very happy to be on this set for this topic, so we can exchange our views on it.
The president of the Senate re-elected, same like the Speaker of the National Assembly.
You see, to me, when I look at what is happening to Cameroon, my heart bleeds, because it appears those who are there today, or our forefathers, have no intention of leaving Cameroon at peace. You see, I don't see how they want to punish themselves, because at least I'm seeing it as a punishment to themselves. How do you expect someone who is maybe in his dying ages, 91 years, 80 something years, to still have the capacity? He's leaving his sick bed to come and lead the country. The president of the Senate, that's the second personality of this country. Should there be vacancy at the presidency of the republic, that's the person who is to take the lead, or to take the command to manage the transition. But you see that he himself had to leave his sick bed to come for an election, and you see the result of the vote. So those who are voting, and I believe a majority of them should be the youth. Why is it that must they follow party discipline, or they can't take up their responsibility? So you see, it's very, very challenging.
Thank you, Barrister. Many say that age is the age of wisdom. So let's take this transition, and when we come back, we dive into our talking point.
Punishment.
Jerome, how do you see the general mobilization of political parties, political actors across the country prior to the 2025 three elections? You have legislative, municipal, and the presidential. How do you see the atmosphere in town?
You see, the politicians, and I really call them politicians, they are taking every opportunity in order to present their agenda. But I'm seriously frowned at the so-called CPDM.
Why do you say so-called?
CPDM in 1985, when they were formed, they put forth their agenda, and it was like convincing. But 1985 till 2024, I think it should be 38 or 39 years. Nothing has come forth from there. They keep on, I can say they have taken the country hostage. CPDM has come to take the country hostage. They impose who is supposed to be where. We cannot be talking of Nya as president of the Senate at both 90. We're talking of Cavalier, president of the Assembly, at both 90. We're talking of the president who see her aspiration presenting as a presidential candidate in 2025 is really deplorable, and it is sickening to me. I see some of their agents, I don't call them political, some of their agents moving around already looking for the gullible that they can deceive, because they already know that there are some people that cannot give a damn, that cannot give a listening ear to their propaganda. Because for the past years, they have been promising, this will happen, that will happen, that will happen, and now we are tired. And do you know what they have done?
No.
What I accuse this government, they have relegated a common Cameroonian to a level of poverty where when this period is coming up, a bottle of beer is able to buy over the consciences of some people, because they will still come with bags of rice, sugar, organize on small parties, and before you know, at the end of the day, you will see the villagers and some common people like lining up. What for? If you move around, you will see it's already happening, and it really makes me look as if these people, they belong to, they have like taken the country hostage, not like physically, it's like a spiritual something.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Jerome. I don't want us to dwell much on the CPGM alone, because we don't have them here. So generally, what is your own view of the mobilization that is going on across the country with the different political parties?
Yeah, I think there is a lot of mobilization going on already, because we've realized that so far they've had some reorganization at the basic levels. Yes. And they are mobilizing, although campaigns are not yet there, but some of them are organizing meetings already that are campaign meetings already. For example, the other day there was a meeting in Yaoundé organized by Cliquez for this CPDM, and we have other parties. I think Cabral Libi also had a meeting the other day, same with SDF and other parties. I think there is a lot of mobilization, but then at a certain level the country is like on a standstill, because with this mobilization we realize that things are not moving. Things are not moving, and we see a lot of them talking politics, forgetting about the lifestyle of the people that they want them to vote for them. We have price hikes, everything has gone mad in the market. These are issues that are supposed to be addressed normally, but you see them coming, talking about politics, telling people to vote. I'm voting you, what are you promising me in return? But realize that all those messages are propaganda, and they tend to fool people and tell lies, and at the end of the day, you vote somebody, you come back to the same position. So I think if we are going in for elections, I think it's something that what we want is change. We want change, and if that change should be positive, then we'll go out there and vote for that.
Thank you so much, Barrister. As a politician, 2025 is at the corner. This should be a busy moment for you.
Yes, busy in the sense that we are seeing how the various actors are agitating themselves, and we see how the puzzle is ongoing. We have political parties who are grouping themselves to form coalition. On the other side, you have a government who is very repressive and saying that those groupings are not authorized. You see that the atmosphere is very agitative. And when I look at it keenly, I have the impression that 2025 may be very bloody, because it is going from all angles. You have fractions who are categorical that no, it's our turn to govern. You have another fraction who is saying that no, we have to continue to perpetuate those who are there, and that there is no way, and that at this age is wisdom, like you said. You see that, and the youths are there. We are observing. We are asking ourselves that today I am close to 40 years. I want to ask myself that, okay, at what age will I be? Will I be ripe to govern Cameroon? And I'm seeing no hopes, because if what is being tried, what is already being painted, it shows that they are making everything, putting in place the same mechanism, and it shows that maybe we'll still have to wait for another 7 years. And you think that the youths of today who are seeing all what is happening with the ongoing crisis in the doorway and Southwest, you think that the youths or the majority will sit and still wait that, okay, let's see how it goes, or we continue to wait? I'm seeing the days very bloody, and this is going to increase more hate speech, because we saw what happened in 2018 at the last presidential elections. Cameroon was divided into two, where you had those who were calling themselves Sardina and Tontina. You see that these are statements which are not very healthy, and we missed in 2018. I'm not sure that 2025 is going to come and just end like that, because the grudges already are overbound. People, it's above people already. So I think that I will not be surprised, because those who are there, I don't think they have any. They are not looking to the future of Cameroon. To them, is that let us die on the seat, and whatever happens, I will not be there.
This question many people are asking, Barrister TAMFU, after parting ways with the CRM, is he into any other political outfit?
No, for now I prefer to be just a civil society actor or a politician, just because I have tried to observe, when you look critically, objectively, with the patriotism of this country, you realize that none of these leaders who are presenting themselves today really have Cameroon at heart. All of them are looking at their interests. When you look at the CPDM today, those who are leading, they have no hopes. They are not patriotic, because you will not hijack the country this way. When you look at the other parties like MRC, you see, I stood up as a young man thinking that no, within my own party there could put democracy. But I discovered that no, all of them are sticking to their seats. Nobody wants to shake an inch. And you see that if all of us are looking in that direction, that nobody wants to get another listening ear, then we are simply just deceiving ourselves and deceiving Cameroonians. So Cameroonians are left to themselves today to really see who is that politician that will really come and sell them the dream of change that they are longing for.
Thank you so much. And as they are preparing, we always have this phenomenon of hate speech and disinformation used by the different political actors to sell their political agenda. It is already ongoing, Jerome.
Actually, you know, hate speech. We want to talk about hate speech.
Yes.
We go to its origin. Where does it originate from? First of all, hate speech comes from somebody who is oppressed, somebody who is like, you know, you're pushed to the wall. Yes, you're oppressing me, and the idea or the phenomena of this or that, calling names, le baming, tontine, sardine, mouton, this. All of this will not solve our problem. All of this will instead lead to what we call civil unrest. We may have a situation where one, you know, ethnic group will be rising up against the other, because I used to be very mad when I go in as I'm talking English with you, somebody will just raise you Bamenda, simply because he didn't understand the English language I was speaking. So this hate speech will increase, because to an extent, why do I really critically look at the CPDM? They have a way that they come into a people. I'm talking about them because they are the ruling party. They have ruled us for so many years without any achievement, without any success. No success story, sincerely speaking. So they are the origin of...
not enough or no success story at all? What is it?
If a basic Cameroonian can still be crying of hunger, there are people who go on the daily basis without a full square meal. So what are we talking about? Basic necessity. We don't want to go for luxury. We talk of basic water. Water is life.
Yeah.
There are many cities, villages, no water, no electricity, and these same people, they give you their vote every day, and at the end of the day, you take them for the names they give. Mouton, this, that, and so on. So the most important thing now I can advise a ordinary Cameroonian is maybe shy away from politics. We allow the people there for faith to take its course, because as I'm saying, I take responsibility of my statement. The country is taken hostage for a long period of time. Sincerely speaking, with what happened, the outing of Minister Paul Atarangi, like reprimanding or going against the coalition of opposition party, what does it mean? They are there for business, and the business must be accomplished. And what is the accomplishment of the business? They know that when we come together, we will be able to bring them down, but they are not willing to see that happen. So we should concentrate and maybe just, well, because another thing is also, we should not advocate for bloodshed. We should not advocate for demonstration, because we should just try our best. We should try our best. We register and we continue to vote. We should continue to...
That's the most important thing.
Yes, we should continue to vote.
Because you cannot affect the change if you cannot take part in...
If you cannot take part. Because many Cameroonians too, we talk about those politicians. They talk about politics, they talk about election. At the end of the day, if you don't vote, you're a noisemaker. At least we should encourage others Because if Cameroonians who are on the street, marché central, we all come out and vote, we can effect a change.
Regina, how do you read the attitudes of politicians this time around in relation to hate speech and disinformation?
I think hate speech is fast becoming very common in most political agenda. What is hate speech in the first place?
Yes.
Hate speech is any form of communication that attacks somebody and make him feel worthless.
Okay.
Yes. Now, it can be actions, it can be written, verbal, or any form. Now, when we come into politics, when you continue to allow a certain person from a certain tribe to rule in one way or the other, that is hate speech, because you are making other members of that party to feel that they are not worthy enough to take up post of responsibility.
That's not hate speech by action.
By action, yes. And we realize that most of these political parties, they carry out hate speech in one way or the other, either intentionally or
ignorantly.
Ignorantly. Some of them just do it because maybe party rules and regulations say that we should do this, we should do that. Because I remember I once covered a basic reorganization of the basic organs. And when they came, the people on the ground, they had their own candidates that they wanted. But when the big guns came, they said no. From the party hierarchy, it is A and not B. So how do you want that set of people? Because they already feel disadvantaged. They are now the minority. You have ignored them and you have to impose on them. How do you think that person that you are imposing on them will be able to meet their needs? Because the person that they want probably is somebody that is with them, that understand them better, that know that, okay, here we don't have water, here we don't have this. It's not that type of person that will come and tell you that they are selling a piece of bread for 3,500. It is somebody that know their people. But when you start imposing, you bring people that don't know what is happening on the field. So there is a lot of hate speech going on. Even in some of the party releases, it is glaring. But I don't know whether most of them don't know why others do it deliberately, like I said. And there are laws now in Cameroon. But now, how do they implement those laws when it favors the person in power? It is normal. But when it concerns somebody else, it becomes a problem. I think we have to continue to do a lot of sensitization.
Thank God you are saying that when Barrister is here, it seems like the law is law when it concerns some people, and it is not law when it concerns some other people. Now, when you have people who openly say, this one cannot be president in Cameroon, that should be the height of hate speech.
Yes, definitely, that's hate speech, and we all know that communication is an arm. Because when you deliberately say like that, they are using this like an arm. And we should not also forget that we are in a state of law.
Of course.
And people who think that they can easily navigate on hate speech and go free, I think they are deceiving themselves. Because there are legal instruments to that effect, just that maybe we are not using it, or maybe government is taking advantage of it. It's not tolerated. But for me, we have to be very cautious. We have to be very conscious when we use some terms or try to make some actions. Like she rightly said, I think Cameroon has 250 or 300 tribes, and I think if we have decided to come on a single umbrella as a unitary state, I think it should not be seen that maybe only a particular tribe can occupy a particular position. All of us, if we are able to fulfill those conditions, we merit it. People always say that no, an Anglophone or an English-speaking Cameroonian cannot be president. I laugh. No, those are hate speech. Why should you think that an Anglophone cannot be president? No, it's not permitted. If he fulfills the requirements, then he too has a say. So we should shun away from those kind of practices, and I think that a program like this, especially when elections are coming, is something we should closely look at, because, like I say, a lot of those kind of speeches will be used to gain votes and maybe to destroy the other camp. But we should not fall into the temptation of Rwanda, like in those days where communication was used to create a genocide or whatsoever. I think we should be very cautious, and for me, people should not think that there are no legal instruments. There are legal instruments, and if we want to apply them, they will be held responsible for them.
That is the word you are using, the word if. What is holding the application?
The problem is not, because if you cannot just prosecute individually. Cameroon there's a legal department.
Yes.
Or there's the Minister of Justice, who is like the watchdog. The Minister of Justice will be able to institute legal actions when somebody uses a word or an action that is considered to be hate speech. So there is a whole legal mechanism that has to be put in place. It's not me to go and maybe seize the courts that this person is using hate speech. I think, except it is used against me. If it's used against me, then I think I can
file a complaint as an individual.
Exactly.
Okay. Yes, you were itching to react to what they were saying. Must hate speech prevail during elections? Is it a weapon?
Well, a popular saying, politics is a dirty game.
Very dirty.
I need to blackmail you in order to win the favor of the people. I think that's already one way hate speech is used. If I see Mr. Chia is white, and then I have to make the people understand that Mr. Chia is black, so much so that they will see the blackness in you and shy away from you and follow my own fake whiteness. So that is where hate speech is. Because somebody will boldly tell you, okay, an Anglophone cannot rule this country. Begin to give you fake, a Bamleke cannot rule this country. Begin to give you some type of this thing, and for that reason they call names and names. But it is not necessary. But I don't know. Maybe our politicians, they are just those that get up from homes. Because politics in our own countries, and especially in Africa, is far different from what is in the West. Because with us, as we are in the opposing camps, maybe Barrister is in CRM. I am in something like maybe PAP. Yes, maybe, because if I want to join anything, I will maybe take PAP. I am in PAP. So as we are in the opposing camps, so we may not sit in the same table and dine, of which is not supposed to be the case. What are we fighting for? We are fighting for the better status and the standard of the common man, so that we can have basic facilities, basic necessity, and then the whole country should be a better place to be. We are not fighting for our personal interest, as it is the case that is ongoing. We are for it so that we should have good roads, potable water, all our children should have access to good schools, and so on. But because it is becoming like a private farm, as I am the president of Senate, whether I am there or not, they have to vote for me and keep my place there. Whenever I come back, I will continue. So he will do everything and give their agent whatever it takes. You can spray hate speech on anybody, so long as my position will not be threatened. So, but we must shy away from that, because Cameroon has been given the medal of what, the most peaceful country in Africa and West Africa some years ago, before the eruptions of the Anglophone crisis in 2016.
And lately there was a study putting Cameroon among one of the countries with happier citizens.
Sure.
Okay, let me get to Regina. There is this tendency where some political parties have kind of tribal roots, that many will feel that because this party has a base here, it must only be somebody from there. We have such parties. I will not want to call names.
Yes. Firstly, I would like you to understand that we are all humans, and we have our tribal links. No matter what we do, we'll always fall back to that. So it is fast becoming normal that if a party is born maybe in Douala, it must be somebody only from Douala that will be the head of that party. or if a party was created by people from the southwest, it must only be people from the southwest that are at the top. Yes, it has always been the case, but I think it is not a good strategy if we want to foster for development, because when we talk of democracy and when we talk of true politicking, we are going in to fight for the betterment of the citizens and not for individual basis. If we are going, it is the way it is because we go in for personal interests, for individual basis, for a certain group of people. If I have this share, I will give you. If I have this, if you do this, I will give. But if we are going in for, okay, I'm going in for this post because I want to give water to my people. I'm going in for this because I want to provide maybe electricity or whatsoever. I think some of those things will not actually it will not actually gain roots. But since we are going, when we talk of politics in Cameroon, you start thinking of your village meeting, you start thinking of your Njangi group, maybe your church gatherings, the elders in your village and things like that. And at the end of the day, when you meet those people, when you bring those ideas, they start looking, oh, if he wins, I'll become
maybe his assistant.
I'll become this, I'll become that. So that is a problem we are facing.
Thank you so much. Barrister, you've been active on the field. I want us to look at disinformation as a weapon during elections. And when we talk of disinformation, we are referring to false information deliberately spread to deceive people. How strong is that weapon in Cameroon, and is it the best weapon to use?
No, this is not the best weapon, but you know, politics is a game of interest. You should not take it as, it should not surprise you that for me to defeat my adversary, I should paint him black, as is rightly said. And we should look, the way we look at politics, if we are getting into politics because we want to govern, we want the betterment of the society. If you have that already as in the background mind, you see that politics is a good thing to do, because when you have the opportunity to lead or to manage or to do things, you see that all of us will take interest to politics. But why we are not maybe taking interest into politics, because the games and the cards are not equal. I don't see the reason why I should paint my brother black because I want to rule. No. I don't see why I should feed the public with hate speech because I want to rule. No. Put up an agenda, sell the idea to the people, and if they see it, good. They will vote for you. I don't need to engage myself into disinformation or trying to rob the image of my adversary before I lose. So some of these practices, to me, I don't like it. And I also wanted to chip in with respect to why we are tight on our geographical location when it comes to politics. It's but natural. Many people even ask me that you were English-speaking Cameroonian or an Anglophone, why didn't you join the SDF? I said no. I took it as a choice. Why should I allow myself to be guided by ethnic affinities? I said no, let me go to
where you saw a vision.
Good. That is what should guide when you are doing politics. That is what the ambitions that is what should guide you. I saw that no, there was something that I could bring in or chip in. That's what the reason why I went there. So, but if we look at politics in that direction, I think all of us would like to do politics. You would like to register. You would like to vote. When you know that maybe your votes will not be rigged, you would like to participate. Not that they come and impose, but it's unfortunate for us, and especially Cameroon, that I don't think we have ever had any credible election since we started, since we gained independence in 1960.
Well, when you listen to him, he said something very pertinent. People should rather focus on vision, what they have to offer. Cameroon has a lot of problems, and if you should put that on an agenda that you want to come and solve, it's better than maybe making noise every day and painting John Black, So maybe they should change the narratives.
Yes. People like Professor Kamto came up with something new in 2018 and put forth a vision. But to the greatest surprise of my humble self in 2020, the direction he took in 2020, it shocked many people that how come CRM of all people with all these great, ideologies, with all this great, vision, oh, you boycotting the council, municipal, in short, you're boycotting a legislative election. Who will be speaking for you right? I didn't expect that from a level like professor. Now it boiled down to the fact that maybe there was an agenda, because what SDF did in the 90s for boycotting it, maybe we said maybe politicking was still at its infant stage. 2020 now, and when they do like that, it gave an upper hand to the ruling party, where they will come out, they have nothing to sell to the people. What they have is presidential majority. Yes, that we're talking about presidential majority. They don't give you clear-cut vision. This is what we are following. This is the roadmap for us to follow and achieve this and achieve that for the good of the nation. So it is but obvious that we follow great vision, because when you have a good visionary that is leading the people, the country is going to go right there, achieve its objectives, and the citizen will be happier, and there will be global development, not like regional, this area of, no, everybody will feel the impact.
Yeah, when you take the example like Peter Obida came up in Nigeria, I think many youths were behind him, not because he blackmailed the other people, but because he presented a well comprehensive manifesto. So, and looking at the 3 elections that are coming up, obviously, if things are the way they are, Cameroonians will still fall prey to the disinformation and end up voting the wrong choices. So, how do they censor the lies? How can they censor the lies when time for campaign will begin?
Yes, let me start from this angle. All of us, we are now in a digital age. The world is digitalized. And there is a lot of misinformation, disinformation, malinformation. In short, there is information disorder out there. It is not a very tedious task to verify information. First of all, you should verify your source. Even in the village meeting, when you get down to the village, people know each other. They know that if Mr. B says something, that's Radio 1 battery. Yes, let's go down to that level. People know people. So I think common sense also have to play. You will not come and tell me that you will construct this road, you will construct a bridge here when I'm not seeing any river, and I believe you. Or
maybe you are coming to promise the same bridge
you promised some years back. So I think people they should use their cognitive reasoning. They should follow up with what is happening. Check the source of the information and verify. Verification is very easy. You must not use all the techniques that we were taught as AFF fellows to verify information. There at the village level, when you get that information, you turn to your neighbor. What this man is saying, how do you see it? We, like in the villages, we have people that we call opinion leaders. That these opinion leaders can be used to get the right information. Because these are people that the villagers they trust, they believe in, and they know that they'll always give them the right information.
I'll be coming back to you. Barrister, maybe aside that, is there need for a change of mindset of Cameroonians as a whole when it comes to elections?
Yes. First thing is that Cameroonians should try to speak to themselves. Our forefathers have taken the country hostage. They have no vision for posterity. If geographically, I think the youths are in majority compared to the old ones. It should be each youth's responsibility to make sure that he does not embrace misinformation or hate speech as an arm for the elections. The youths should take it upon themselves to change the order. They should go in for somebody who is selling a program that is realizable, a program that at least will be able to change narratives. You see, we have been battling for close to 40 years. I have not only one president, and it is unimaginable that at this age we cannot have water. At this age we don't have light, when the world already is transforming and going to new source of energy. I think that the mindset of the youth should change. They should not stay again behind and continue to listen to the hate speech or actions being perpetrated by their forefathers. No, the mindset should change. It is our own. The mindset should be, it is my time to govern and not tomorrow. And if we go with that kind of a mindset, it will start by massively registering. It will start by voting and controlling the votes, and if possible, if standing firm to what the ballot box will speak. So I think that the mindset should be, it is now, it's not tomorrow. I'm not supposed to govern tomorrow.
Thank you, Jerome. I'll be coming back to you. But since we are talking about hate speech and disinformation, something caught my attention this week, because Defy Hate Now, which is one of the institutions that have been fighting hate speech in Cameroon for over some years now, I stumbled on an information, and they said they are organizing a 3 days grand conference on disinformation during elections. Yes. Regina, you are one of the fellows of such a movement. Can you give us the major axis of the conference?
The conference addressing digital threats to elections in Cameroon, counter strategies against misinformation, disinformation during election period. That's the theme of the conference. The conference will take place in Yaoundé at Degre Palace from the 27th to the 28th. That's next week. During that conference, a lot of people will be invited: civil society organization, AF fellows, politicians, political parties, the government itself, in short, all stakeholders in the election process, journalists as well, they will be involved in that process. And what is the aim? The aim is to map out new strategies on how to counter misinformation, disinformation, and hate speech during election, so as to promote peace. Because without peace, nothing can work.
Sure.
So the conference is going to hold to map out strategies to promote social cohesion and to ensure that a good number of people are being sensitized, educated, drilled on these aspects, so that when the election period will be closer, or when campaigns will be going on, people will be aware of some of those things that when they say it, they will know that this is hate speech, and they will know how to counter it. Some of the things that they will be looking at, elections, democracy, they will be looking at hate speech itself and how to counter it during campaign period. You know that during campaign period, we have some of these people that hijack WhatsApp group. They keep sending messages, so then people will be trained on how not to forward some of those messages, because there is this tendency of forwarded and received. People just receive and forward without even verifying, without even knowing the source of the information, without even thinking if the information is correct or wrong. They just forward. So some of those things will be addressed during that conference. Some of these academicians will be there. enlighten the people a lot on it, so that there should be some level of balance and less tension during election period.
I think such a conference is timely.
Sincerely speaking, in Cameroon we go after the leaves. We go after the leaves when you have a problem. You go to the root of the problem. Yeah, the conference, well, it is necessary, but not like too necessary. You will bear with me that we have been having conferences and even talking of bilingualism, Commission X, Commission Y, Commission I. Now, the problem is, to combat this, it has to do with what? Mind conditioning.
And that's one of the things.
Yes. Who is organizing the conference? And then now, those who attend the conference, do they disseminate the information to the grassroots? To my grandmother or to that taxi driver? Because to that taxi driver, to that Okada driver, does that information reach them? And then now, the assessment. Because when we do such, okay, we say we disseminate it, and then we assess, have we achieved what we need to achieve? Because this thing, it has to go right to touch your soul. It should come from you. You should not be obliged. You should not be put like some, hinge. This is what you have to follow. You must say this, you must not say that. When you are now left alone, when those handcuffs are taken off you, the hate speech will be continuous.
Yes, but that doesn't cancel the fact that we have to keep preaching the gospel, because if one person is touched, definitely the person will endeavor to touch the other person.
Now, yes, what you say, I agree, right? But now, why just now? Is it only during elections that hate speech is propagated? Hate speech
I think I started by saying that they have been doing
okay, they have been doing it that way.
Yes, they have been doing a great job in that. Yes,
let me come in.
Through more light. You have to be brief because we are running out of time.
Yes, I want to make him to understand that DefiHate now have been carrying out trainings, AFF fellows, where journalists and civil society activists and other opinion leaders have been trained, over 200 over a period of I think 2 or 3 years now, that they have been training. And after each training, because each cohort they stay for 3 months, where you have been trained on all those aspects of information, fact checking and all the like. Now after that, you have to go back to your community and do a restitution in touching different groups of people. Yes, so I think the impact is there, but it is a gradual process. It's not like a magic one that when you strike it, everything will just change. I think they have started so far. If you see the way, I think this is very evident with the Anglophone crisis. When it started, you saw the way keyboard commanders were using it to say all the things, but now with this training we realize that there is a drop in some of those things, how they promote. Because
I remember some traditional journalists used to just pick up certain information from the social media and then they consider it as what happened. But so now you hardly see a journalist who will just pick that up and then put it on air without verifying.
I think those are some of the results so far, because these fellows at the end of the day, they organize meetings, they meet market women, they go to village meetings, they go to churches, they go to schools, every community they get into and preach the message against hate speech.
Thank you, Regina. Barrister, we are gradually going out of time. Maybe we take your last word.
Yes, my last words will be that all of us should be on the alert. The lines are very red because as we speak, no one knows what will happen to Cameroon tomorrow, because those who are there have decided to take us to their graves before we could lead. So we should all be on the alert and make sure that when the time comes, we should act, and we should not be scared about politics. All of us should engage into politics and make sure that we tell those people that no, they have already given all for Cameroon and that their time is over and that is our time to govern.
Is it a time for some people to fold arms and say, I don't do politics, or it's time for everybody to get into it and then be active?
It's actually time for everybody to get into it and be active. If at all we love Cameroon and we want a change for Cameroon, because that change, for it to be durable, it must only come through the ballot box. We must be active, we should register, and then we spread the information to other stakeholders right to the grassroots. Everybody should get involved, so much so that we can speak through the ballot box and tell our forefathers, our ancestors who are at Etudi, who are in the glass house, that their time is up. They have given all what they had. Nothing is left. There is nothing new that will come from any of them. And this change we are clamoring for can only be through the ballot box, if it has to be durable and to last the test of time.
And then we should follow vision and manifestos instead of personalities.
We should follow vision, projects, manifestos instead of personalities. We should not follow individuals because maybe this is my brother, this is from my tribe, this is no. We should follow people who have vision, who have presented their project and their agenda, and it is convincing that this one can bring Cameroon out of that hole, because sincerely we are in a hole. We need a Moses that is going to set us, or to set us through, to take us to our promised land.
Thank you, Regina. We are moving out of time. Maybe the last word.
Yes, I wish to tell all Cameroonians that there is hope. We should not lose that hope. We just need to follow realistic manifestos and guard against some of these politicians that have been fooling us and will still fool us if we are not careful. So it is not too late. It is not too late, and it is never too late. It is time for us to do the right things and bring in the right people that will give us the much change that we need.
Maybe before you go, the Grand Conference Against Disinformation, does it involve everybody? Can everybody participate?
Yes, it is open to everybody. It is open to everybody, and new ideas will be welcome. They already have a plan of activity, but I don't think it is close. People that have new ideas, I think the communication gadgets and flyers are all over the place. There are contact numbers that you can contact, and you get to them and give whatsoever ideas that you want to make the Congress better and bigger.
Thank you so much. I think hate speech is a virus that we are not free from it. At times maybe you say certain things unconscious, but then you sit and then you realize that what I said was hate speech. So I think it's a collective fight that all of us are supposed to fight. So ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for watching. Take the rendezvous again next Saturday when it will be 12:30 p.m. as usual. Stay away from trouble, and do not forget, go get your voter's card if you want change. Thank you so much.